Hi, I'm Kirsty Simon. I'm a senior at Newman University. I've been playing tennis here for the last 3 years. I'm from Gold Coast, Australia. Over the last 3 years of playing tennis at Newman, I've had a very helpful coach, Charlotte Augsburger. She's not only helped me on court, but she's also helped me off court with schoolwork and just making me a better person, making me who I am today. It's the one goal that I've had since 8th grade, and the fact that I'm about to graduate, now I've got to figure out another goal. I wouldn't have been able to graduate without Charlotte Augsburger. She's the one that has given me this opportunity to complete my goal in life, which was to play college tennis. Vic, what do I say about Vic? Well, if you need a good old laugh, you know where to go. No, in all seriousness, he has been a great support. I had a setback at the start of the semester. I was 3 weeks late. I ended up having surgery, which I unfortunately couldn't get out of. It was surgery or who knows what would have happened. But thankfully I had Vic and the whole athletic system, my coach, my family, my friends, my teammates, especially my teammates, they all stood behind me and got me back to where I am today. I wouldn't be here if I didn't have them, that's for sure. It has all come together in many aspects. Tennis, as I said, I've been playing all my life, and being able to fulfill my position here, I'm very proud to say I'm a Newman Jet. Always will be. Once a Jet, always a Jet. The schoolwork, everything from Newman has helped me learn how to live in the real world. Whether it's like time management, my social skills, that's a huge part that's really helped me. When I first came to America, I was very shy, didn't want to talk to anybody, but now I can stand in the elevator with someone and actually have a conversation with them, whereas I wouldn't do that normally. But yeah, it's been a really great experience.
Hi, my name is Shakira Zachary. I'm a sophomore at Newman University, and I'm also a member of their spirit team. Being a part of the spirit team really allows me to take things into my own hands. I'm able to show true spirit, and by that I'm able to increase the overall spirit at Newman University, and especially in the athletic department. Being a part of the spirit team has allowed me to bond with other people from other teams, show them who I am, and also what Newman can be. I personally see bigger things for Newman University and its athletic department. I'm looking forward to seeing how Newman is going to grow, especially this athletic department, because we have a lot of potential out here. The CBS game was the craziest thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Trying to reach the things that I can't see. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. Trying to reach the things that I can't see.
I didn't even expect to see everyone come out and support and to be so energetic as they were. We had the chorale come out, the troubadours came out, and they had fun. They sung in the stands, and they were so energetic. All the teams came out and supported. We were all able to dance together, wave our towels around, and just have fun. The sisters are definitely one of the best crowd members we have. They're always cheering. They're so into the game, and it takes me back a little bit, because you expect them to be quiet, but no, they love the game just as much as we do. And then there's Vic. Vic, truly. I really appreciate him. He's always willing to listen, even though he's busy all the time, always moving. I catch him walking around, and we'll have a short conversation about what I'm trying to get done, what he's trying to get done. We're able to work together to achieve bigger and greater things.
Currently, I have been a member of Newman University Athletics for the past 4 years. I have been part of the bowling team for the past 4 years, as well as being the school mascot, Johnny Jet, for the past 2 years. So it's been one of these great experiences that I would cherish and I will remember for the rest of my life. It's just, without the experiences here with the people I've had at the Newman Athletics, Newman University for me would not have been what it has the past 4 years. For about the past 10 years, I have been battling depression. And it was very, very mild for most of my life. But about hitting my senior year of high school, I had gotten past it, or most of it. You know, I had a few episodes here and there, but it was nothing major. I got to college and I was happy. You know, I was getting to be who I wanted when I wanted to be them. And about my sophomore year, I was on a bowling tournament. I just had a very, very rough day, and I hit deeper and darker than I had ever thought I'd really want to hit. And Billy Murphy told me, he goes, Josh, he goes, honestly, as your coach, I'm going to be honest with you that I don't necessarily know how to handle this. All I know is let's get through this day, let's get back to school, and we can handle it then when we have resources, when we have people around that can help you. And we got back to school, that Monday, and he sent me to Coach Mark Potter's office. And I sat with him for about an hour and a half. And Coach Potter told me, he looked me dead in the eye, and he goes, you know, things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen, and bad things are going to happen. And he goes, the only thing you can control is how you handle them. He goes, if bad things happen, you got to know that they're going to happen. Not everything is going to be all great all the time. So he goes, your mindset and how you're going to handle it is going to affect a lot of how your life and how you proceed. And I walked out the door with this whole new mindset that I can affect my day. If I have this negative outlook, then it's going to be a negative day. And from that day, I mean, it's been 2.5 years later, and I haven't looked back. I've been happier than I've been in a long time. I've been able to remain calm. I've been able to keep my days positive. And Coach Potter has been an idol to me. He's been a role model. He's going to be somebody that I've been looked up to, and I can look back on and say this was the guy that took time out of his busy schedule as a basketball coach for a guy that wasn't on his team, for somebody that he didn't even know, because that's what he felt that he had to do. And I sat there with him, and I've seen him every day since, and he has been somebody that I can look to when things go wrong, and I can know that he's going to take the time out of his day for me to sit me down and just tell me that everything's going to be okay, and then all I have to do is think that everything is going to be okay and work towards making my days better.
I've been involved in athletics in quite a few ways besides just running cross country. I've also been able to watch 2 of the CBS games at Newman, and this year's CBS game I was able to help organize. Some of the parts that us students were able to get involved with was with SGA we were able to help fund updated pictures for the gym, and we were also able to help with some of the events such as face painting and getting the crowd excited for the game. And during the game I was able to help with the halftime entertainment activities and other timeout activities. I've just really enjoyed Newman Athletics because of the opportunity it gives everyone to get involved. It doesn't matter if you're the best athlete, but it just matters how much effort you're willing to give to the program. One reason I've come to love Newman here is for the well-rounded aspect it makes in each student. For example, like you can get involved in athletics, you'll be involved in your academics, of course. You can get involved in student leadership. For example, this year I'm student government's vice president, and also all the professors are really supportive of athletics. They know that you have practice, but they also expect you to be a student, and so they're willing to work with you if you're willing to work with it. And the athletic staff also is always willing to help. They look for extra ways to help students, and really want the students to develop as a whole-rounded person. I've always been a pretty motivated and self-driven person, and sometimes my friends make fun of it because I'm a little hard-going on some things, but that's what I've really appreciated about Coach Sheffis. He is willing to push you as far as he knows you can go. And so some days when you want to be done, he's like, let's go run another 800. And so we do. But it's good to be pushed, and I think that's what's going to help us all succeed in life, is being able to like test our limits and push ourselves just a little bit farther. Okay, I think the part like I remember most from running cross country is definitely running with all the other girls, whether it be here in Wichita, which is always fun to have our home crowd, or somewhere else. One of the meets I'll probably always remember, maybe because I'm going to be spending the next few years there, but is attending Notre Dame and seeing their campus and seeing how a Division I big, like well-known school operates, and like it inspires us. Like we can compete with them, and they're not just some prestigious school. There is a school we can take part in. So next year I will be at Notre Dame, attending their graduate program in chemistry.
I'm Jeremy Gant. I attended Newman since 2009. Currently in grad school here at Newman, and I'll graduate in December 2014. I have kind of a unique story.
Growing up, I never knew anything was wrong at all. I went to allergy doctors, and they said I just had allergies and I had asthma.
When he came back for his sophomore year, the day before school started, he was complaining that his heart just felt like it was about to beat out of his chest.
I was walking up the stairs moving in sophomore year, and I was sweating, just covered in sweat, just didn't feel good, and I knew there was something wrong. And when I lay in bed at night, my heart would make weird beats, and so I knew something wasn't quite right. But I said, look at me, I'm in perfect shape. There can't be anything wrong. So I just ignored it until the point where I had to do something. They did x-rays, which said my heart was enlarged, but the echocardiogram determined that my heart was functioning at 10%. So they did some more testing, heart caths, and to try and see if I could have a valve replacement surgery. But it turned out that there was no way. They could have got my heart to maybe functioning at 20 or 30%, but that's not enough. So they said a heart transplant's your only way to survive.
In a 24 or 36-hour period, he went from just being a normal, healthy kid to, wow, this is what we've got and what we have to face. So it was a tough deal for especially for Jeremy, but his parents, his teammates. Newman is a small, everybody knows everybody's school, and it was a tough deal on everyone.
I can still remember the day and time. I was with my mom, and my dad was back at the hotel, and I was laying in my hospital bed, and the doctor comes in with something didn't seem right, and it was the last thing I would ever expect. But he came in and said, he sat down and he said, son, he goes, I have some bad news, and he said, you're gonna need a heart transplant to survive, and if you don't, I'll give you less than a year. And I'm just like, I didn't know what to say, honestly. I just started crying, hugged my mom, called my dad and told him to get here as soon as he could. Words really can't describe what went on. It was pretty crazy. They prepped me for the surgery, put about 3 IVs in my arms, told me what was gonna happen, and I was scared, I was excited. I really didn't know what to do. My surgeon walked in, and it was about 1 in the morning. He's like, everything's gonna be fine, I'm just gonna take your heart out, I'm gonna put the new one in, and you're gonna be back in no time. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, this sounds real easy. I remember waking up from the anesthesia and the surgery, and I think it was like a day or 2 after the surgery. I had a tube coming out of my mouth, I had 4 tubes in my stomach, and tubes in my arms. It wasn't a pretty sight. It hurt to breathe. It was just so much pain, unimaginable. I don't remember a lot, but I do remember my team, and I could see all of them. They just got back from a tournament, and I could see them through the glass just kind of looking in, and they were crying, they were smiling, it was a whole bunch of emotions. And I knew I had to do something, and so I just raised my thumb and gave my thumbs up, and that helped them. I was in the hospital one day awaiting my transplant, and Tom Watson actually knocked on the door, and he said, "Is this Jeremy Gant's room?" I'll never forget. I was half asleep, and my mom's like, "Jeremy, wake up." I was just kind of like, "Is that Tom Watson?" He's like, "Hi, Jeremy, I'm Tom Watson." I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So that was a shock. He sat down and talked to me for probably 2 or 3 hours in the hospital. And me and my family, my grandparents, just talked to us about not only golf, just life.
He was so radically changed physically. He dropped, he doesn't really have any body fat on him at all, and he dropped 30 pounds. And he was so weak and shaky and just had an unbelievable amount of rejection pills that he had to take.
I'm on about probably 15 pills a day now, when I was on like 30-ish. And my dosages have gone down. I'm going to be on pills the rest of my life. I got to go in a room and I got to hold my heart, and they said it was normal heart is about the size of your fist. Well, mine was double the size of my fist. So it was really weird. I've never seen it. It was all gray and yellow, and they sliced it open, and they showed me, this is what a normal heart looks like. This is what yours looks like. And it was just all webby, and they said I could have had a blood clot in there and died at any moment. I was really lucky to be alive. I'm not playing as good as I would expect, but you got to think about what I went through. And to be walking 36 holes right now is an honor, and it's a privilege, and I've worked really hard for it. And so I may not be, winning tournaments yet. I may not be where I'm at, where I want to be yet, but I will be there. I feel better than ever. I just ran a mile the other day without stopping, and that's something I could never do before transplant, and I never knew why. The golf team means everything to me. The coach has been with me since I was a little kid, and he's one of the biggest people in my life. Newman was the best school I could ever ask for. At the hospital, the president came and saw me, the AD came and saw me, half the school came and saw me, and they did projects around the school to raise money and passed out bracelets, heart for Jeremy, and they did a lot of stuff. A lot of people don't know, but God is what got me through this whole thing. And there'd be nights where I'd be alone, and you'd hear the beeping going on, and the nurses coming in, doctors coming in, and I'd be exhausted. I'd have tubes in me, needles in me, and that's the point where I would just break down, start crying. And there was one night I remember I was in so much pain, but I turned on the Passion of the Christ, and I watched it, and I said, if he can go through that, then I can go through this. And from that point on, I was never scared, and I went through it all like a champ. I realized the true meaning of life, and that's to cherish every moment, because you never know which day was going to be your last, and which can be your last. And I was fortunate to live on, but I could have been taken from this world just like that. So I've learned that lesson, and it's helped me.
So here it is 4 years later, almost 4 years in October of 2014, and I'm doing great. Doing fantastic. I'm working full-time, Koch Industries. Like I said, I'll graduate with my MBA in finance in December. And I just published a book. It's called Win the Fight, Fight for My Life. And it's available in stores, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can find it anywhere. And that kind of explains my story and what I went through the past 4 years. In my journey, obviously there's a lot of other student athletes out here that are, maybe not going through the same thing I went through, but they each have their own story, and they each need the same amount of support. Supporting each student like you've shown support for me is something that I think you guys should do and continue to do. Go Jets.
So it's been one of these great experiences that I would cherish and I will remember for the rest of my life.
I'm very proud to say I'm a Newman Jet.
I'm looking forward to seeing how Newman is going to grow.
Is it too late? Is it too far for him to reach you?
And I just really enjoyed Newman Athletics.
Go Jets.
A week, once a Jet, always a Jet.
I'm just waiting for that day when we see Newman posters plastered all over the city, the state, and the nation.